All right, so what's up, guys? So we are out here on another run, out here doing this craziness for all of you guys to simply sit back, watch, admire, and enjoy, right? Enjoy the show, because that's what we're doing. We're delivering it right to you, for you. And without further ado, we will dive into today's video topic, which is on belly fat, and specifically something that you probably want to lose, right? You want to cut it out immediately. And don't worry, because we are going to give you 4 ways to lose belly fat fast. And without further ado, we are going to go into tip number 1, and it's something that you see us doing right here, right now, and that is running, right? And also juggling as well. But you can just run, right? You don't have to go through this complicated madness in order to lose your belly fat, right? As long as you do some form of cardio, your belly fat is going to diminish, because cardio specializes in cutting out fat, right? It's burning calories, burning carbs, and when you retain those aspects, right? You retain calories and retain carbs, right? You don't end up using them for energy. They end up being stored in your body. And what happens when they're stored is they become fat. And it's not to say you gotta eliminate it completely, because your body in fact needs fat, right, to function, right? It supports the body, protects it, and keeps it going. But in your case, you have too much of it. You want to get rid of it. So something that you could do is start running or biking or swimming, right? Do something that gets your cardiovascular rate going up, because those examples are gonna do that, right? They're gonna raise your heart rate, right? Get you to start burning fat quickly, because that's where it comes from, right? That heart working overtime and trying to supply the body with its blood. But if you don't do that, if you ignore the cardio, it's going to be very hard to replicate that, right, in other activities. So if you focus on those that are targeting that area, right, targeting improving your cardiovascular system, you are going to be on your way to burn belly fat, right? That's not to say that you could do that, right, in a gym, lifting weights and doing other activities, right? Although those may not traditionally be known to do that, you are still raising your heart rate and getting yourself moving. But I don't think that those will be as effective, right, and burning that fat, but they can help you as well. So that coincides with tip number 2. That is to get your behind in the gym and get going, because even by you moving from weight set to weight set, you're burning calories and burning fat. And by you doing that more and more, you're gonna burn more carbs and calories, and then guess what? You're gonna burn that fat, which is what you don't want to have. Because so many people think that just going to the gym is about building muscle, right? Getting as big as you possibly can and as strong as you possibly can. But what so many people forget to think about and take in mind is the fact, that when you're there, you're also burning calories and, getting moving. But, in essence, it may not be as direct, but you're still doing it. But one pro tip in regards to that is to lessen your break time. Because if you take such long breaks, right, sitting down, using your phone, watching a TV show, I've seen in some cases, which is pretty bad, but by you doing that, you're slowing down your heart rate and returning it back to normal. And when your heart rate is moving at a normal rate, you're not burning anything. You're just staying at the same level pretty much. So by you keeping moving, right, you're gonna burn more fat and shed more weight. So really aim to try to cut into your rest time, right? If you want to burn that fat. But if you want to build, you might want to rest a little bit more. But in essence, by you cutting that rest time, you are going to be on your way, to burning that fat and, doing it fast, right? It's easy to do that, right? All you have to do is change the setting in your stopwatch, right? If you're timing your breaks like so many people do, right? Instead of 60-second breaks, you might want to do 30-second and so forth, right? Cutting those in half and essentially doubling your heart rate and cutting out your rest time. So that's another way in order to cut out that belly fat that you don't want. And without further ado, so many people know this one, and that is through diet, what you eat. And for so many people, they ignore it, right? Because so much of it happens to be in our head. It's within our control. And for so many of us, we can get tempted and fall susceptible to bad influences, right? The cheeseburger that you're surrounded with, that you can smell, that seems to be pretty good, but you know that you're not supposed to have it, right? It's not going to be the best for you long term. And that's how you have to think, right? Short term over long term, right? Short term, you want something that tastes good, right? And nice and sweet. But long term, you want a nice and fit body, right? Because those tastes aren't long lasting, right? It's only a couple seconds of a dopamine hit and then you're done, right? And that's it. But our minds can trick us into thinking that that is everything, but it's not, right? And in fact, it'll lead you to becoming unhappy long term because you're not fulfilling your own personal goals and objectives, right? You're going the other way. And if you're doing that, you're not growing, you're regressing. And if you're regressing, that's going to lead to some unhappiness, specifically if you have that goal of losing that belly fat. So in essence, that's what you want to do. You want to figure out what you got to eat as far as your diet is concerned, right? You want to avoid that fast food and essentially try to cook home cooked meals, right? Nice, slowly, and ones that are prepared with care, right? Not prepared coming straight out of a freezer, being prepared within a couple minutes, right? Those meals that are mass produced for a profit, sadly. But for you have to think about that, right? Think about what you're putting into your body, right? Where did it come from, right? Did it come from the grocery store or a fast food joint? Is it organic? Is it not? Is it vegan? Is it not? So forth. Things like that, right? Because those can make a huge difference in regards to losing that weight and shedding that belly fat. Because if you don't watch what you're doing in regards to what you're putting in your body, your fat can accumulate very easily because our minds can simply just trick us into getting the short-term fix of that delicious food. So, if you really consider that, try to prepare your meals at home. Avoid fast food, avoid that junk food. It's quite obvious for many, but even though that may be the case, they don't do it. And that requires some awareness and self-control for many. So another tip that you could do in regards to losing belly fat super fast is to cut out sugary drinks and even excessive amounts of alcohol, right? Those have been scientifically proven to help, not help, right? It helps the fat, but it doesn't help you, right? It actually hurts you. And it's counterproductive as far as losing belly fat. It makes you fatter, makes you weaker. And if you try to just stick to water and some juices here and there, you are going to lose that belly fat because it's so much better for you right? You're losing those extra calories and carbohydrates that you would have induced, you know, on your normal day. But since you're avoiding them, you know, are gonna be without them, and you're gonna be one step closer in order to cutting out that belly fat, right? Those 1,000 calories that you need to burn that day only become 750 or 500, right? Because by simply cutting out those sugary drinks that can accumulate a lot of unnecessary fat and mess us up in regards to our goals, just like how we did now. But without further ado, those are the 4 tips in regards to cutting out that belly fat that you don't want. And you know, as always, we say thank you very much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, do it all. And we say thank you very much and goodbye.